Thank you so much for joining our Activity Finder webinar today. I'm Lindsay. I have been brought in as a joint collaboration between the Herts Sports Physical Activity Partnership and the NHS. I've been brought in to promote the Move and More Activity Finder, to get more people using it, to get more people uploading their sessions onto it. And the ideal overall outcome that we want to get is that we want to get Move and More used in a clinical setting. So further down the line, we're hoping to get it used within social prescribers, GPs, within doctors, but we also want it to become the one-stop shop across Hertfordshire to be able to find physical activity. So at the moment, we have around just over 11,000 activities on there. These range from seated and chair-based exercises right up to if you wanted to join a triathlon club. We have everything in between. I am now really wanting to target our smaller organisations, so your village halls and these individual session providers that maybe aren't getting the same reach that our larger Everyone Active Stevenage are, which can be sometimes a little bit daunting if you're starting out on your physical activity journey, that you maybe don't want to go to a gym. You want to go to somewhere a little bit more quieter. So, like I said, what is Moving More? So it's an initiative to improve awareness of physical opportunities across the whole of Hertfordshire. Whilst this is completely powered by the Herts Sports Partnership, it is a standalone website. So our website alone we've relaunched it on the 5th of February, and hopefully everyone's had a chance to look at it. But we have a whole new workout at home section. The workout at home section has seated and low impact exercises, high impact exercises, things that you can do with your family. And it also has apps that you can use out and about in the home. So running apps and things like that you can use outside of the home if you want to. We also have a whole new dedicated area to health professionals. Obviously, they're not only for health professionals. If there's something that you're aware of, a long-term health condition, and you just want a bit more knowledge about it, you can look on there as well. We also have articles and keeping you up to date on everything that is Moving More related, and a little bit of HSP in the background as well, because, you know, we are still a part of them. So as Tom and Dominic will explain, they'll go through Moving More is Tom's baby to a degree. I think it's probably the best way to put it. So you've got Tom Marley. He is from Plaid. He is the brains and the man behind Plaid, who created the Activity Finder as you see it today. And Dominic is from Imin. They do a lot of our back office functions that helps me see where we need to improve at a ward level and at a borough level, where I need to improve on physical activity and where we need to put some more things in. And Tom, I'll let you introduce yourself. HSP, Tom.
Oh, sorry, wrong Tom.
Sorry.
It's a bit difficult, isn't it? Too many Toms and Doms. Hi everyone, yeah, so I'm Tom Horry from the Herts Sport and Physical Activity Partnership. So I work a bit more behind the scenes with Lindsay, so more at a strategic level. So if ever you're looking for activities and wanting support with that, you'll probably be coming through to Lindsay. But when we're talking about the Moving More team, I'm part of that team. And I'll pass over to Tom Marley now.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining. Tom Marley here, and I founded a company called Plaid, which makes it easier for people to find and book sport and physical activity online. And yeah, here to just give a bit of background about the Moving More platform and how you can get the most value from it.
And Dominic,
hello, hi everyone. Dominic Nilsson here from Imin, and we've been working together with Tom from Plaid for many years now, and been in this open data space. So I'll say a little bit about that a bit later on. But yeah, as Lindsay pointed out, we're sort of the back office and data side. So we help to provide all of that live activity information to the platform.
So Tom Marley, to play to Tom, if you'd like to share your screens for me and just go through. So I can talk all day about what I do at my end, but actually Tom is best placed to explain to you how the Activity Finder works and how Plaid came about. And he'll be able to give you far more knowledge than I ever will be able to. So I'll hand over to you, Tom.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. I'm hoping you're able to see my screen. Bear with me just 2 seconds as I get that up for you. Sorry, I'm bad. Great. So hopefully you can see all the screens. I introduced myself earlier, but yeah, Tom Marley here. And essentially, we started the company because of our own experiences, which we were trying to look for ways to organize football or ways to play more sport with friends, and realized that the online experience wasn't as good as it needed to be and was stopping us playing. And we realized if this was stopping us playing, we were motivated to play. What was this doing to people that were less motivated? And we went and learned that it was causing a significant impact. People are used to doing everything online, ordering takeaways, booking holidays, but sport and physical activity hadn't quite caught up yet. So what we identified across the country was that we could make an impact by making sport and physical activity easier to discover and book online. And currently, before moving more, it wasn't easy enough to be active in Hertfordshire, and it's a journey that the team at Herts Sport Partnership have been on with us for a few years now, and it's great to see the growth of activities that are now accessible online. But just to give you a bit of background about what the impact is currently there's around 65% of opportunities are still offline. And what that does is cause 1 in 5 people to be less active, who've stated that the main barrier to them being active is that it wasn't easy enough for them to sign up online. And then this is also impacting local providers who are missing out on more digital savvy participants who won't go to things if they have to make multiple phone calls or send emails. People have higher expectations in today's world, and we want to bring them the experience that they deserve. So just learning from a few other industries that have adopted technology and the impact that has. So over the last 10 years, become easier than ever to go on holiday, take trips, and this has led to 39% more people taking holidays. And again, similarly with takeaways, with the rise of a lot of the apps that make it super easy to order a pizza to your house or a burger or whatever you need, that's led to 42% more people getting takeaways. And so we want to create a similar impact in the sport and physical activity industry. And so this is all powered by an initiative called Open Active, Sport England funded. There's over 135 organisations, and so what its aim is to essentially make it as easy to take part in sport and physical activity as it is to order a takeaway, as it is to go on holiday. And it's made up of a number of organisations, both people that provide physical activity and also people that promote sport and physical activity. And it's really a platform to enable a lot of these digital experiences like Moving More. So what we're doing with Moving More is creating a digital pathway to help more people get active in Hertfordshire. What I'm going to do after I've gone through, I'll show you kind of how that all works. But it's there to increase the visibility of local opportunities, to put everything in one place, and to help make it really easy to find activity near you. This approach leads to around 22% more people getting active because it's easier to discover local opportunities online, and also creates a better future for providers who not always has the same marketing budget as some of the bigger leisure operators in the area, but they're crucial in reaching the least active audiences. And so this really helps promote all the great activity that's going on in Hertfordshire. So how can people on the call make an impact or get involved? So if you're a provider of sport and physical activity, you can open your data. It's as easy as signing up through the website. There's a link that you can upload your activity if you don't use a booking system already. If you do use a booking system, there's a number of ways that you can share your activity. And if you're promoting sport and physical activity, the team at Herts Sport Partnership can provide you with a simple widget that you can add to your website, and you can give people the opportunity to find local activities directly from within your website. And yeah, essentially, instead of having different fragmented, different, like the only place people can find stuff is on your website or on your socials, it's just promoting that to a much wider audience and giving you extended reach into the community. So what I'm going to do now is just share. I'm going to stop sharing this screen for a second and share another screen instead, which will give a bit more of an idea of what how the activity finder works. So just bear with me a second, everyone. And then we'll stop and go through some questions at the end. But yeah, bear with me. So I'm just going to go now through to, sorry, I went through that step a bit earlier, but yeah, the objective is to make the tool as easy to use as possible. So people can go in, put in their location, choose their current location, or put anything that they'd like to do. I'm just going to do a general Hertfordshire search and then can search from a number of different categories or activities that are available in the area. Click search, and yeah, as you can say, within 40-kilometer radius, there's currently 9,771 activities within the next 2 weeks. And we'd just love to get as many great activities on there as possible and to give people the biggest opportunity to find something that's suitable for them, near them, and meets their needs. So there's a set of filters up here to filter down for specific accessibility requirements, specific genders, levels, ages, times, days. We want to really make it easy as possible for people to find something suitable and that's got the lowest barriers to taking part. There's a map where people can search and find some activity that's nearest to them. So if we take this example, you go on and click reserve a spot and take you through to signing up. So yeah, it's designed to be as simple to use as possible and to help as many people get active in Hertfordshire. So that's all from me in terms of what I'm going to share, but I think we're going to go through a few questions. Right, is that right, Lindsay? Great.
Yeah, that's not a problem at all. So if anyone's got any questions for Tom on how it works, either raise your hand or stick it in the chat and we'll see if hopefully Tom will be able to help you.
Great.
I don't think I've got loads of questions yet, but I'll give people the chance to kind of put them in as Dominic goes through his bit. He's going to talk a bit more, and then we can always come back to any questions that happen at the end. One's just come in at the Q&A. I'll quickly do that and give. So the question is, I don't know if you can see it, Tom, but I'll read it if not. Does the reserve a space option always take you to a pre-existing external page owned by the club/coach, etc.?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, that'll link off to the provider's website. So in instances where, yeah, they've got their own booking system in play, it'll take them through that they can sign up on that website, or it'll take them through to get in touch in the way that the providers listed their activity. So yeah, it provides a way for people to sign up and get involved.
Yeah, that is a good question. As I said, yeah, if you've got any questions come to you in the next part, either for Tom or Dominic, then do just stick them in the chat or the Q&A function. and we can come to them at the end. But otherwise, I'll pass over to Dominic, who's going to talk a bit around kind of Imin's role in this area of work.
Awesome.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Tom. And yes, so we at Imin, we are, I guess, responsible for aggregating all of that live activity information that Tom Marley was showing us. So I've got a few slides that I can share here just to sort of highlight how the Finder works and the role that we play in doing that. So if I just share my screen. There we go. So hopefully you can see sort of slides on the page. So I think the key thing I want to highlight is the difference with this particular activity finder and any activity finders that use open data compared to perhaps other finders you used before or directories or similar. And there's a number of different things that make this finder different from other finders you've seen before. So I'm just going to run through some of those points. So the first one is that this finder, is activity focused. So as you saw there, you've got all the activities on the left-hand side, and residents can search between activities from lots of different providers. So this is obviously exciting for a number of different reasons. As Lindsay pointed out, we can use that for social prescribing purposes. We can target specific groups and demographics, such as older folks or younger folks. We can put a particular focus on certain types of activities or certain campaigns. And all of this is live, up-to-date information coming straight from the provider. Previously, this might have been uploaded from, a central organization, sort of reaching out to different providers and trying to get their details. But what open data does is says you as a provider have the ability to publish information about what's going on at your organization. And we will then use that information that you're publishing, either from your booking system or from different tools that exist. And we will display that live activity information and give it to residents in a really easy to use way. So this is actually another example in the London Borough of Merton, which I've used in sort of previous presentations. And we can get a real range and breadth of different types of activities through using open data platforms. So as I mentioned, it's a live platform. So it's, anytime a class is cancelled, for example, or an activity is cancelled, or perhaps it's fully booked up, that activity can then be removed from the Finder, or will be removed, if it's live and connected. And it means that, you're always, as a resident, looking for, what the next live opportunity is to get active. The technology itself is something that's open to all providers of sport. So whether you have a booking system or don't, whether you're small or big, cater to certain audiences or cater to all, you can publish that activity information. And obviously, Lindsay, you're the right person to speak to, I think, in terms of HSP and trying to help those providers to open up your activity data. I'm also doing this myself in the likes of Merton and Islington and many other places across the country from an Imin point of view, supporting those providers. And I guess what we want to highlight as well is that this is, this is a sort of change within the industry, as Tom hinted, Tom Marley, that, there's lots of different great comparisons that we can look at in terms of takeaway food, in terms of booking and sort of hotel and travel. And within sport, we're seeing more and more organizations using open data to power their platforms to get that live information straight to residents. So we've got some exciting, exciting platforms such as Decathlon, the LTA. We've got regional finders, HSP is obviously the focus here, but there's live activity finders popping up now in more and more places, leveraging this technology that we have. So obviously Tom's shown you the kind of user experience, the ability to filter by sort of age, the level, intensity, gender. There's the Wayfinder tool as well, which is really handy in terms of telling you how you can get to the activity. And on the flip side, from a HSP point of view, we've got all that live information. We can kind of now see where there are more activities located in Hertfordshire, where there might be less, where we can kind of help providers get onboarded there and try and sort of improve the proliferation of activities in certain areas. And we can, we've got that live activity information, and we can kind of create some exciting reports and analytics tools to sort of display and better understand what's happening in the borough. And therefore, that can feed into then funding conversations for certain providers, or sort of looking at certain areas that we can focus on more. And I guess here, just a snapshot of the facility search, perhaps something that's not as important for HSP right now, but we've got, the Finder's got the ability to sort of either filter by sessions or by venues and facilities. And on top of that, you've got on that right-hand side the accessibility filter. So, for anyone that has any particular needs, that's a really, really handy filter to be able to use the Finder. So, in short, there's a number of different things that make this Activity Finder different from ones that you've seen before. And at the center of it really is that sort of live, up-to-date activity information coming straight from the provider, so that that next Monday there is a session taking place specifically, and there might be a certain number of spaces remaining, and that information can be fed directly to you as a resident. Yeah, that's kind of my overall summary of the Finder, and happy to sort of pass it back to the team.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. So what I will show you now is, before we go on to the questions, is something new that we've brought in to Moving More. So as far as we're aware, we are the first active partnership which have added an app to our platform. So it's a web-based app, so you don't need to go into your app store to download it. There is a link directly from the homepage of the Moving More website. And what this app will do is that if I show you my screen again, is that you will have the same functions exactly as what the website directly has, and what it so it has the same functions and same views as what the other website has, but it's made specifically for your mobile. We can also send notifications to you with sort of push notifications with just a reminder about sessions that are coming up, or if a new session is coming up. And it also has the workout at home section on there as well. So if you wanted to take the workout at home section to the gym, for example, you'd be able to work out and do those exercises, but out of your home as well. You can also book all the classes and everything through. So the QR code for the app is there for you to be able to download it directly to your phone or your device. I have it on my desktop, as well as also having it on my phone. And it's, as far as we're aware, like I said, we are the first ones within an active partnership to try this new technology out. And hopefully, so far, it looks like it's working really well. So what I'll do is I'll go to a couple of the questions that are in the... what I will also do is this slide here. This has got the details on when our next webinar is. So we also have another one on Thursday. This one is with London Sport and Imin again, who again are complete experts in these fields. These will give you really in detailed depth on how to upload your sessions. So if you are a leisure provider or a session provider and just want a little bit more help on how to upload the sessions, or if you know somebody that may want some help, if you click on the QR code there, that will take you through to the booking for our next webinar. But my email address is also there. If you do have any questions, anything about how to upload sessions or how to search sessions, Claire, I will get in touch with you at some point this afternoon. I'll drop base and we'll try and set up a meeting to try and work through sort of the issues that you were having before. What I'll do now is I'll have a look.
On that webinar, Lindsay, so that's the 29th of Feb, isn't it? So that's this Thursday at 10 a.m. as well. And I know there's a couple of questions in the chat around uploading sessions, so we'll try and answer them as best we can. But I guess probably relevant to say that we're also running a webinar on that Thursday. So if that's kind of more within your remit, then it might be worth signing up to that as well.
How do we go about populating the website? So the website is either, so like Dominic and Tom said, some things are pulled through directly through a booking system. So if somebody uses something like Legend, Gladstone, book when, we can automatically pull the information from there. Realistically, if they already use something like Legend, Gladstone, their information will already be on there, which is why you can see the likes of Everyone Active and things like that already. If they are your smaller leisure provider, so for some reason I always use the example of a yoga in a village hall, but if that is, you know, you've got somebody that does yoga in a village hall, that would be the best one for coming to the webinar on Thursday. That is where Open Sessions, which is run by London Sport, there is a whole separate platform where they can go onto Open Sessions, put in a few details, and it uploads all the information. So it does put your smaller leisure providers and your larger leisure providers on the same playing field. It's completely free. And none of this, there's no cost, it's all completely GDPR compliant. I can't see any data. And so it puts everybody on that same level playing field, and everything is exactly the same to be able to view. How long has it taken us to get it to this stage?
I think. Sorry to jump in there, because
Yeah.
this probably predates you, Lindsay.
Yeah, I was just about to say it predates me.
Probably best to Tom, when did we start working with you in the Activity Finder? It's been a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah, so I think it's just over 3 years now, and yeah, it's been essentially building up the approach across the county and across the country, really, where a lot of providers are opening their data or adopting this way of working. And yeah, there's been a build-up of activity on there to create what's now a really nice selection of different activities. So yeah, a few years, but the thing about open data is this is not all just you can act if you create different tools or different local activity finders, the same data is usable. So it's essentially open for all. So it gets easier over time for everyone that's creating similar tools.
And the geographical area can be quite restrictive. If I live in Herts, but I'm on the Essex and London border, I'm not going to be looking at activities and drinks. So thank you for that question. So where you can type in your area you live in, that platform, although we have it preset for Hertfordshire, if you wanted to put Scotland into the area, you would come up with all the activities that are in Scotland. We have it preset for Hertfordshire, because obviously that's the area we're working in, that's the area we're dealing in. But you can search within right up to, I think it's 60 kilometres of any area that you put into the search bar. I live in Bedfordshire, but I can border into Hertfordshire. So I can search within Bedfordshire, but within like a 10k radius of just outside my area. So yes, whilst it does look quite that it is specifically for Hertfordshire, that's because we've preset it for that. Yeah, so everything is joined as one big happy family, but we're obviously only focusing in on Hertfordshire. Have we had difficulty convincing smaller leisure providers to upload and then to turn? Yeah, it's a lot of the problems that I have faced is obviously they're concerned with the data that they're having to give over. It is obviously new, and a lot of people don't really understand how it works, which is why we're doing webinars like this today. But once they sort of understand that it is essentially free marketing, and the value in having things on the Activity Finder, and then the value and the help they get from HSP from a whole, so things that I have a spotlight session on the website. So to be on the spotlight session, you have to be on the Activity Finder. Yeah, there have been some that we've had some trouble convincing, but actually not as many as I originally first thought. And a lot of people are now coming around and seeing the value and the benefit to uploading their sessions. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Tom, or anything else?
I was just going to add on to a couple of points there. So with that, I think when people see the activities on the website, there's lots of people on there, it becomes a lot easier over time to encourage smaller providers to list their activities. And so, yeah, it gets easier over time, and people if they see lots of activity on there, then it encourages them to upload more. And yeah, so I guess, depending on what the organization's looking to do, if they're looking to reach more people, it's the perfect place to do so. And if they're not so interested in reaching more people, then that tends to be when they're not as interested in getting involved. But again, yeah, it's a hell of a lot easier than it was a few years ago. And yeah, people are used to doing things like this. And then yeah, the question before about the locality, yeah, once people go on, they can put in their postcode and it'll show them the nearest activities to where they've searched. So regardless of where they're based, it'll show them activities near them, and it'll cross county borders, etc.
Well, there's just one that's come up. Yeah, so you upload your sessions via open sessions if you don't have a booking system already in place. So if you are somebody that doesn't use a booking system, people either have to email or phone you directly to book onto your sessions, then we encourage you to use open sessions to get your information onto the Activity Finder. But I can completely help with that. And that's what our session is on Thursday is about how to upload those sessions to upload your sessions to open sessions. Sorry, it's a bit of a mouthful. Yeah, you can't upload directly to the Activity Finder. It pulls the data through from open sessions or from your booking. But I think...
So I was just going to, there was a question from Claire that was in the chat. And so just thought I'd get back to that point. Yeah, so I think it would be great just to learn a little bit more about the activity that you're publishing through the site. But yeah, absolutely, this is would be a great use case to help promote those over 55 activities. Like there's a filter which is 55 plus, which again would be great to essentially share a pre-filtered link for that search that you can put on your website, and it'll pick up all the activity that's suitable for that demographic. And again, we're always trying to improve the types of activities that you can filter and the ways you can filter. So yeah, it'd be great to kind of learn a little bit more and help make your life a little bit easier by sharing a link to the right type of activity for people.
We've got another one in the Q&A as well, actually, Tom. Is it possible to block automatic pull through of individual activities?
So is it possible to block automatic pull through of individual activities? So yeah, based on the system you're using, it will stop showing there's space for activity that's fully booked. And again, when people go through, that information should be shared with the user. But yeah, in terms of what you want to promote, if you're sharing it, say on open sessions, for example, if it's full, you can just take that down. If you're using a booking system, and it'll automatically recognize when there's no spaces available. And yeah, that's the whole, essentially the ethos of what we're trying to do here. It's all live information. So if things change or if that activity gets cancelled, then it won't show up on the Activity Finder.
Yeah.
We have also had to contact some of the other guys in the past, because there's some sessions that pull through from some of the larger organisations that aren't at all relevant, really. So some of sort of like a sauna session. So the guys can go back and they can stop those sessions from featuring for us as well, because they're not relevant and they're just taking up space. But yeah, Tom answered your question there on if it's no subscribed or full group.
Yeah, and if you are, just to say, if you are uploading sessions now, you want to sort of get your sessions on there, just reach out. I think either myself or Lindsay would be happy to help and sort of support you if you've got any questions around the upload process.
I've got another one as well in the chat, actually, for you, Tom. It's around filters. So they've said the form, which I think they mean the online activity finder. So there's an age button on the Activity Finder. Will that lead to movement activities for the elderly?
Yeah, exactly. So the age filters show either 0 to 15 activities for 0 to 15-year-olds or 16 to 50-year-olds, and then 50 plus. So if that filter's on, it'll just show relevant activities. So I can just share my screen quickly again. It might just give you a bit of a indication of how that works. So yeah, this is a search with the 50 plus tag on it, and it'll show activities suitable for, when they've been uploaded, they've been indicated that they're for older adults, for example, people over 50, and there's a really nice selection here of activities suitable for them. And this can just be changed to any type of activity.
You can do multiple filters, can't you? So if you wanted to do over 50s and low intensity, for example, then you can almost filter it down to really meet your needs.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, hopefully that's clear on how that works.
But if you are looking for something specifically for a client, or you are looking for something for a patient and you're really struggling to find something that's appropriate, just let one of us know. Drop me an email and I'll try and find you, and I can send you sort of like a preset list of activities on there. You know, as with anything, it's not a perfect system at the moment, but it's as good as it's going to be, as it's going to get at the moment, sorry. And thank you, Mike. That sounds like one of Charlotte's revolutionists. But you know, with the best way for Tom and myself and Dom to learn is by you guys using it, and I think that's the best way that we're going to be able to improve on it, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's all the questions in the chat and the Q&A. So hopefully that's answered that.
I will just put the, sorry, Tom, I will just share my slide again with the QR code for Thursday's session, because I know there was somebody that asked about how they book onto that one. So if I'll just share that slide again.
We can also circulate the details in an email, which will go out following this, and we'll share a recording of this webinar with everyone, if that's useful. But as Lindsay's going to say, you can also use the QR code if you know how to do that.
Well, yeah, when we circulate the video, we'll also send across the QR codes again.
There might be one more in the Q&A. I'll just
say. There's one there.
How will this be promoted? Is there an ad budget, or is it via health providers?
So we have, and what I can send across to you, Kate, I can send you what we have called a partners pack, which is a completely new thing that HSP have done. And within the partners pack, there are social media tiles, there are posters, there are things that you can put in TV screens, in doctor surgery, and it's all completely made for you. You can take out, you can drop and add in pictures or your own logos. There's certain things that you can't change. So like our QR codes and the web address and things like that. But we have everything. The point is that we want to make it as free and as easy for everybody to use as possible. So we have all the marketing material that we can send completely across to you. So yeah, hopefully we want it to be.
Yeah, and just to jump on that, so in terms of how we're promoting moving more generally, there is links within the health professionals. So we've got a contract where we're looking to connect more with social prescribers and kind of primary and secondary care. So that will be a big focus of us going forward, how we can encourage their use with it. But also we're working with partners more generally to help get that message out. So working with guys like Tom and Dominic up, Imin and Plays, but also locally, things with like healthy hubs, local authorities, Herts County Council, basically looking at as many ways as possible to start promoting, moving more and get more eyes on it. And in terms of paid promotion, it is something we're looking at as well. So kind of if you're putting activities on there, we're hoping to get as many people using it as possible. So it's going to be a big push going forward for us. There might be another Q&A.
It's just the QR code that we've got for today there on the slide is coming up for today's meeting. So we'll make sure we definitely circulate the correct one and the correct link for Thursday's meeting. Thank you for pointing that out. For attending today. Hopefully we'll see some of you again on Thursday. And we hope, and thank you to Tom and Dom. Really hope you have found this useful, and we'll get some, hopefully, you know, if there's any feedback that you want to give us, or if there is anything that you'd like to see on the activity finder, just drop me an email and I'll be able to get back to you.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Yeah,
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for all your
Cheers.
questions.
Yeah, bye.